Yay.
Awesome. So I think the Zoom, I think, oh, I guess if it says it's live streaming, it's live streaming. So what are we doing today?
Hello. Today we're going to talk about cleansing. And for me, this is like the second step in my self-love ritual. When I have the time to do the whole thing, I start with the oil cleanse and then I go into this next step. But I wanted to talk about other ways to cleanse your face. Some people just like aren't into the oil cleanse. So I have different natural ways that you can cleanse your face. And I have some products that I make that they do this as well. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is grains. So cleansing grains. I was inspired by the Ayurvedic Ubtan, they call it. So they use like a chickpea flour to scrub their body and exfoliate, and you are left with this like glowing skin. It's a really incredible way to cleanse, and you're going to be getting all of these nutrients. Nuts and seeds are just wonderful for cleansing. I also have used red lentils in my past, adzuki beans, so all sorts of stuff. My absolute favorite is what's in this beautiful grains, and it smells so good. So it's chamomile and rose flowers that have been wild harvested here on San Juan Island, and then some oats that I blended into that as well. Some coconut milk powder. Milk is extremely cleansing, so that's another little tip for you for natural cleansing. If you're somewhere where you can't get any of your products, just go in your fridge, grab some milk, and use milk to cleanse your skin, and you'll be amazed at what happens. I always put a little milk in my bag. Yeah.
Oh, I was saying, are you talking about any kind of milk or
okay? Yeah.
any percentage?
Kind of milk. The best. So I like to, like you were saying, the raw cow's milk is incredible. That's like the best. I do raw goat's milk, really good as well. But any nut milk, any of those, if you just have nut milks around, that's going to do the same thing. It's going to be very cleansing. But I do find that I feel a lot more moisturized, and like the moisture is like locked in when I use the actual milks. I think there's a lot more like fats in there and things that our skin just understands. We know how to absorb that. We know how to digest that. It's so important. Also, like all these grains and herbs, our bodies know how to deal with this stuff. So there's nothing getting in there that's going to make our body freak out. There's nothing in there that we have to push into the lymphatic system. We don't have to get rid of all the chemicals. Our bodies can just rest and relax and enjoy the cleanse that we just did. So cleansing grains, I'll put these on my site. I have a few different kinds, but yeah, feel free to play with stuff. I encourage that. Be playful and yeah, just listen to your skin, see what happens. So I'm gonna show you guys this little setup that I have. Yeah, do you have a question?
Yeah, so could you mix any like grain with milk? Is that what you're saying? Mix them together and use it as a cleanser. Okay.
Yes.
Just making sure.
Yep. Some options are oats or rice or lentils. These are things that I personally love to do. Again, my cleansing grains have like, I just kind of go crazy and I put all of these different extracts, but like this is something you can totally do from home on your own, no products, make your own thing. I really want to encourage people to start doing that.
So yeah, I love that. That's why I was asking. I'm like, wait, so I can just take any grain and any milk and it would be something intuitive, like something I intuitively feel called to. Like if I'm like, oh, I'm really like, sometimes I feel that way about ghee on my skin. I'm like, oh, I want that extra nourishment.
Yeah, I love ghee. Every winter, like as soon as winter hits, that's like my cleanser. I'm like, yep, just need to do a little bit of this ghee cleansing. It's magical. At first I was scared, but it's like, it's so good, you guys. Try
Yeah,
that as
really,
well.
it's really nourishing. I love ghee. So anyway, all right, show us your setup.
So here's my little setup. And again, this is like why I love to do my little skincare. It's a ritual. I have this towel laid out that I use when I am charging crystals. So it's got all this awesome energy happening. So maybe like find something that you love around your house, a piece of fabric, charge your crystals outside. I use, yes, girl. Yes. I use this little mixing bowl. These are available in my shop as well. They are rose quartz bowls. They're really, really beautiful and they make it really fun to mix the products. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take a little bit of these cleansing grains and dump it right into this rose quartz. Sorry, I cut my hand today, so I have to like keep it from getting wet or anything.
So should I
Sorry to be
follow
all.
along with my grains?
Yes. So we
Okay.
had Neve grab some almond flour, some raw cow's milk, and some honey. And that is what she's going to be mixing up today. If that's something you have at home, I encourage you to go and do this. And again, yeah, it's just really fun to mix your own stuff. And that's why I've brought that into my products is I really want people to, even if they're buying this stuff, I want them to feel what it's like to mix your own little medicine, have intention, use the vibrations, use the crystals, use your tools to really infuse like love into this ritual. You will feel the difference
Okay, so
rather than just
oh, sorry.
yeah, yeah,
I
how
should
what?
raise my hand. That would be
Yeah.
better. I have a question. How much should I put in? So I have a bowl and I have
Perfect.
this. How much should I put in? Just a little? Oh, okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
so I put in about that much.
Okay. And I would put in more if I was gonna do like my whole body or something.
Yes, and I encourage that as well. Try doing your whole body. If you have the time, do it. And then hop into a bath. It's magical.
Oh man, we'll have to do one of these on baths. I would love to have a bath conversation with you. I have so many different
Yeah,
cleansing baths I
let's
like to do.
yes, me too. And that's the other thing, right? Like it should always be rotating and changing. The other thing about my products is they're always changing. Every season, I change the herbs, I change everything up because we need to be doing that. It's living with the seasons. It'll make you feel so good. It's really, really cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm going to take my Glowing Goddess Milk and Honey Cleanser. This cleanser is freaking magical. A lot of people are like a little bit, it takes a second to get used to it because it's not like a sudsy kind of cleanser. It's not like your typical cleanser, but it is really nice. It's got this great, can you see that? Okay. It's got this great consistency and it is a base of milk and honey, but I also add in all these extracts from comfrey and calendula and rose. I use some essential oils such as manuka, which is really hard to get in the United States, so I get it from my friend Allie in New Zealand. It's incredible stuff for skin. A little bit of frankincense, coconut, um, yeah, just a ton of lovely things. Yeah, so good you could eat it.
So I'm putting, yeah, I put a little bit of milk and a little bit of honey.
Great.
And now I'm gonna
Perfect.
mix with my fingers, my healing
Yeah.
instrument.
I like to mix with my fingers. Personally, that's just like, yeah, it just feels so good. It feels like maybe we've been doing that forever and we just kind of forgot. You can use like a little spoon or something if that makes you happy. Whatever makes you happy. That's really the main thing. You should be feeling
Girl,
all excited.
I'm in touch with my inner child. Playing with my fingers makes me super happy. I'm like, ooh, look at this
Doesn't
consistency.
it? Yeah, totally. Like, and feel free to add more of whatever. Like, if it's looking like you want it to be kind of like a paste, but with a little bit more cream to it. So I'll show you mine. Yes, I would add a little more liquid into yours. So it's got this, it's a little bit runny, but pretty magical. Yes, girl. Yes. That's what we're talking about right now.
Yes. If you wouldn't wear it, if you wouldn't eat it, don't
Yeah.
wear it. Yes.
Don't wear it. Gorgeous. Yes, that's looking good. You can add a little oil into this if it's something you feel like you want to do. There are so many ways to do this. Sometimes I add, if I have pimples, I'll add turmeric in there. Incredible, like so incredible topically. Or sometimes I'll add a little matcha powder. That one's fun. Or cacao if you have it. That's always a good one. Yeah. Okay, so now we're just gonna start rubbing it in. If I wasn't on the video, I would totally be doing this all over my chest, my shoulders, down my arms. And I want you to not be afraid to give yourself another one of those loving massages, because that's what this is. It's another chance for you to rub your face. Oh, it feels so good.
The honey feels amazing and smells so good. I'm like, I just want
Yeah,
to.
most people, right? Like that's how we should feel about skincare. Like, oh my God, I just want to eat this. Like, it's so good. And I mean, it's when I like realized it, I was like, oh my God, how did it take me this long to like recognize that like food is medicine topically? Okay, so the honey is like a humectant. It's gonna pull moisture from the air. It's gonna moisturize you. It's gonna heal. It's also antibacterial. It's incredible for acne. It's incredible for rosacea. It's gentle. It's loving. It's really interesting, like starting to see things as like what they are, as in terms of like energy or like the vibration or the feeling. So I feel like a lot of grains just feel like ancient. They feel like, I'm tapping into that part. I also feel like when I'm using honey, I'm really connecting with Mother Nature. I mean, right? It's just, we all know it's like some of the best medicine. I'm really careful about where I source my honey and my beeswax. Get some on your lips. You can exfoliate a little bit. So this again is going to be pretty exfoliating. It's really great after an oil cleanse because you will then also help clear off any of that leftover residue oil. Yeah, and just having like even once a week doing a few steps is really magical for your skin. You don't have to do this every day, but once a week, it will really make a huge difference. So I encourage you to start playing with these things, or, message me, ask me any questions. If you're feeling like a little confused, I want to help you. I want to help people do this. If you're not someone that like loves making and you're someone that likes having stuff made, I will make you the stuff. But just get in the habit of like using these incredibly natural resources that we have. You're perfect. It's so good.
I'm just eating whatever's left.
I just love that because that's like what that's what I'm all about. That's what I'm always talking about. All right. So then I'm going to take my warm cloth and again do the same thing when we were oil cleansing, laying it over your face and kind of letting it sit for a minute, doing some compression on the cheekbones, near my ears, my forehead, It smells so good. People think like, oh, honey, it's gonna be so sticky, but it's rather enjoyable, I must say. Even when I'm just using plain honey, like I really love it. Oh yes, and my cleanser also does have the tiniest bit of um, homemade Castile soap. This will be something that I want to talk about a little bit in the future. So it's made with like hemp seed oil and um, rosehip oil and sesame oil and jojoba, and it's just very gentle. It's a very gentle soap. So I do have some people who are like, I love soap, right? I just want soap. So, you know, this is for people who are feeling that way. They don't want to give that up. I have options for you. How are you feeling?
Like I made a little bit of a mess, but my face feels amazing. It feels really good. Like it feels, I don't know how to explain it. It feels like a more awake or alive or something. Is that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, not bad considering I just grabbed what was in the kitchen.
Yeah. Right? It was quick. It was easy. And hopefully it does too, like give people the courage to get rid of all the junk. Again, that's something that I really, really, really like would love to see everybody do, is realize that it's just a simple switch and we have a lot of the things. Um, Eventually I will be offering a course on how to make all the stuff. So that's in the works right now. So that's going to be really fun.
Oh,
And then I
yeah.
also wanted, yeah, that's going to be really fun. I also wanted to talk about another thing I offer, which is a cleansing balm. And this is for people who really like the oil, but it's just not something that they're super comfortable with working with. So this is a little bit of a thicker texture. Also, you get that added benefit of the beeswax. So I use a really wonderful local beeswax and my oil that has been steeped for an extremely long time with ginkgo and all these different incredible herbs, sea buckthorn, everything. Yes.
So if you're using the beeswax base balm, would you spritz your face, still put that on, and then massage, and then still wipe any excess?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly the same. Yeah. And then what I always do after that one though is I reapply a little bit. So I'm like the oh, hi cutie. Just got out of the bath. Yes. You guys are twins. So cute. Yeah, I do. I use this balm actually on my son too. He loves it. So that's another really fun thing for the kids to start cleansing with these type of materials. It's going to be really powerful for the skin.
Oh yeah, and he loves mixing things and textures and stuff. So what a fun thing. We could totally do a kid workshop sometime. How great would that be?
Yeah, yeah. Let's bring our kids. I love that. Yes. Yes, please. Awesome. So yeah, that was my little quick class for today. Um, yeah, is there anything else we should talk about?
I think that was really great. Yeah,
Awesome.
I feel empowered to use. Yeah, you can come in if you want. Ooh, I got some cleansing on your face when I squished my face against his. Yeah, I feel real like more empowered to experiment a little. And I do know what you're talking about. A lot of people do have an aversion to maybe throwing out their lotion, or I feel like that's like step number one. But what would you say is step number one?
Get
Lotion?
rid of it. Yeah, get rid of the lotion for sure. That is the top thing. If you can only throw away one thing, throw away your lotion. Use oil. Like that's just the simplest most impactful thing you can do for your skincare. And just like I said, a lot of lotions have oil in them. It's like, I don't know why people are so afraid of oil. It's in everything. Oil is in your soap, oil is in your lotion. I mean, it's the thing that works in all of these things, but there's just not enough of it. It's not high quality. It's not, yeah, there's like things like palm oil in everything. That's something that's really, I'm passionate about because our planet is suffering because of these things. Like, we need to pay attention to this and care about our planet and care about where things are coming from. And for me, a lot of the time, I'm trying to source things as close to me as possible. I'm trying to do my research. That's something we need to do for ourselves, for our children, and for our earth. Like, it's really a powerful practice.
Amen. Preach it, sister.
Yeah.
Seriously, yeah, it really does matter. So I'm so glad that you brought Mother Earth, Gaia into this, because yeah, it makes a difference. We just, like not using plastic things, it makes a difference. So
Huge.
yeah. Well, thank you so much for teaching me and giving me more permission to play with kitchen items on my body.
You're so welcome. I'm so happy that people are receptive to this. I'm like so excited because it really is my goal, is to just like empower people to take back their skincare, their self-care, everything. I mean, it starts there, right? There's so much growth that happens when you start doing these type of things. Yeah, totally.
So perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you. I'll see you in the next one.
Sounds good. Love you.